The envelope sat on the coffee table between them, stuffed with more cash than Marcus had seen in months. His daughter's medical bills flashed through his mind, the ones marked "Final Notice" in angry red letters, the ones that kept him awake at night. All he had to do was take the money, pretend to be this stranger's boyfriend for one weekend, and his problems would disappear. His hand trembled as he reached forward, then stopped. Something in the woman's eyes told him she needed more than a fake relationship. She needed what money couldn't buy. 3 days earlier, Marcus had been restocking shelves at Morrison's Hardware when the elegant woman walked in, completely out of place among the paint cans and power tools. Her designer heels clicked against the concrete floor as she approached him, clutching her phone like a lifeline. "Excuse me," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Do you sell duct tape?" Marcus pointed toward aisle 7, noticing the way her hands shook and how her eyes were rimmed red beneath expertly applied makeup. She thanked him and hurried away, but returned 10 minutes later, standing awkwardly near the register as he helped another customer. When the store finally emptied, she approached again. "This is going to sound absolutely insane, but I'm desperate." She took a deep breath. "My family is throwing me an intervention this weekend. They think I'm incapable of maintaining a relationship, that I'm too focused on work, too cold, too damaged. My sister's getting married next month, and everyone keeps treating me like I'm broken because I'm 34 and single." Marcus nodded politely, unsure where this was heading. "I need someone to pretend to be my boyfriend for 3 days. Just this weekend. I'll pay you $5,000. She pulled out the envelope, setting it on the counter. "I noticed your name tag says Marcus. I'm Claire. I know this is crazy, but I've exhausted every other option. The intervention is at my parents' lake house upstate. All expenses paid, separate bedrooms, completely professional. Just 3 days of convincing my family I'm fine so they'll leave me alone." Marcus stared at the envelope, thinking of his 7-year-old daughter Lily at home with his mother. Lily, who needed surgery for her chronic ear infections. Lily, who deserved better than a father juggling 3 jobs and still falling short. "Why me?" he finally asked. Claire's expression softened. "Honestly, you're the first person who looked at me today like I was human, not invisible, and you have kind eyes. I figured if anyone could pull off caring boyfriend, it might be someone who actually possesses empathy." Marcus should have said no. Every rational part of his brain screamed it was a terrible idea. But $5,000 could change everything for Lily. "I have a daughter," he said slowly. "I'd need to arrange childcare." Claire's eyes lit up with hope. "Of course. I can add another 1,000 for your trouble." That's how Marcus found himself driving upstate, Friday afternoon in Claire's BMW, learning the backstory of their fabricated relationship. They'd met at a coffee shop 3 months ago. He was a hardware store manager with dreams of opening his own contracting business. She was a corporate attorney who worked too much, but was learning to find balance. Simple, believable, boring enough not to attract too many questions. The lake house was stunning, all windows and modern. Architecture nestled among towering pines. Claire's family greeted them with a mixture of surprise and skepticism. Her mother, Patricia, hugged her stiffly. Her father, Richard, shook Marcus's hand with a grip that felt like a test. Her younger sister, Amanda, studied him like he was a specimen under glass. "So, Marcus," Richard said over dinner, "what are your intentions with our daughter?" Before Marcus could answer, Claire jumped in. "Dad, we've been over this. Marcus makes me happy. That's enough." "Does he?" Patricia's voice dripped with doubt. "Or is he another distraction from the real issues?" Marcus watched Claire's face crumble slightly, and something protective stirred in his chest. "With respect, Mrs. Whitmore, the only issue I see is a family that can't accept their daughter's choices. Claire is one of the most capable, intelligent women I've ever met. If you can't see that, maybe the problem isn't her." Silence blanketed the table. Claire stared at him, shocked. He'd gone off script, but he couldn't help it. These people had no idea how lucky they were to have her in their lives, healthy and successful, while he counted pennies hoping his daughter wouldn't need another. Doctor's visit. The weekend unfolded in unexpected ways. During a family hike, Amanda cornered Marcus. "How much is she paying you?" Marcus froze. "Excuse me?" "Please. Claire's solution to every problem is throwing money at it. I love my sister, but she hasn't had a real relationship since college." This whole thing feels staged. Marcus considered lying, but found he couldn't. She offered me money, yes, but that's not why I'm here anymore. Amanda raised an eyebrow. Then why? Because in 3 days, I've watched your parents criticize every decision she's made. Your mother comment on her weight. Your father question her career choices. And you treat her like she's pathetic for being single. She doesn't need an intervention. She needs her family to actually see her. Amanda's expression shifted from confrontational to ashamed. It's not like that. We're worried about her. Are you? Or are you uncomfortable that she doesn't fit your definition of happiness? That night, Marcus found Claire on the dock, staring at the moonlit water. He sat beside her, their feet dangling above the lake. "Thank you for earlier," she said quietly. "You didn't have to defend me." "Yes, I did." Marcus surprised himself with the conviction in his voice. "My wife passed away 3 years ago. Breast cancer. Everyone had opinions about how I should grieve. When I should date again, how I was raising Lily wrong. People love to project their fears onto your life and call it concern." Claire turned to him, eyes glistening. "I'm so sorry. That must have been devastating." "It was. Still is some days. But it taught me that everyone's timeline is different. You're not broken for being single, Claire. You're just on your own path." She wiped her eyes. "Why didn't you take the money right away? That first day in your store, you hesitated." Marcus smiled sadly. "Because I saw something in your expression I recognize from my own mirror. Loneliness. The kind money can't fix. I thought maybe you needed a friend more than a fake boyfriend." "I think I did," she whispered. The intervention happened Sunday morning, but it looked nothing like Claire had feared. Marcus had stayed up late talking with Amanda, who'd gathered the family. Instead of an ambush, it became an honest conversation. Patricia admitted she projected her own regrets about sacrificing her career for family. Richard confessed he worried. Claire worked herself to exhaustion because she was running from something. Amanda apologized for judging choices she didn't understand. Claire cried, really cried, for the first time in years. "I'm not running from anything. I'm building a life that makes me happy. Yes, I'm single. Yes, I work hard. But I'm not broken, and I need you to stop treating me like I am." Her family heard her, really heard her, and something shifted. Monday morning, as Marcus packed his bag, Claire knocked on his door, holding the envelope. "You earned this." Marcus shook his head. "I can't take it." "Marcus, please. You have a daughter who needs surgery." "How did you—" "You mentioned the medical bills in your sleep. You had a nightmare Saturday night, and I heard you from across the hall. Let me help." Marcus felt tears prick his eyes. This weekend wasn't about money anymore. Your family needed to hear the truth, and you needed someone in your corner. "You don't owe me anything for that." Claire stepped forward and wrapped her arms around him. "You gave me something priceless. You saw me when I felt invisible. You stood up for me when I couldn't stand up for myself. You reminded me I'm not alone." She pulled back, pressing the envelope into his hands. "Let me give you something priceless, too. Let me help Lily." Marcus wanted to refuse, but thinking of his daughter's bright smile, he couldn't. "On one condition. We stay friends, real friends. No more fake relationships." Claire laughed through tears. "Deal." 6 months later, Lily's surgery was successful, and Marcus finally had enough saved to start his contracting business. Claire showed up to the grand opening with her entire family, who'd become surprisingly supportive of her choices. She and Marcus talked every week, their friendship deepening into something neither had expected but both cherished. She'd offered him money to act as her boyfriend. Instead, he'd given her validation, respect, and the courage to demand better from those who loved her. And in return, she'd given him hope when he'd almost forgotten what it felt like. Sometimes the most priceless gifts come wrapped in the most unexpected packages, offered by strangers who become the people who change everything.